Good morning, my dear students. I hope you all are keeping safe and healthy. My name is Abha and I'm here today to share a story with all of you. The name of the story is Robin Hood. So once in the town of Nottingham in London, there lived many people. And the town was really prosperous and happy. Everyone was leading a very joyful life. The farmers were having a bumper crop. People were wealthy. And this was all possible because of the King Richard. He was a very righteous king, and he took good care of each and every person who lived in the city and town. But then one day he had to travel to a nearby place. Unfortunately, his ship got lost in the ocean. People kept waiting for him. Days turned into months. But there was no update or no news of King Richard. People started to mourn for him. And soon it was believed that King Richard was no more. Then there had to be a new king. So his younger brother, King John, was made the King of Nottingham. When he started to rule the city, everything changed. He imposed really heavy taxes. And then people started to grow poor. They were miserable, though they requested the king to think about this and maybe keep the taxes a little bit low. But he was adamant. And in this way, he kept on becoming richer and richer, and the people of Nottingham became poorer and poorer. It was actually a very big problem for the entire kingdom. But as they say, with every crisis, there is a hero born, and the name of this hero is Robin Hood. Robin Hood was a young man who lived in a forest nearby the city of Nottingham. He had a few friends with him who were known as the Merry Men. Robin Hood had observed the problems the people of Nottingham were facing, and then soon he came to a plan. What he and his merry men did was that they robbed the royal chariot of King John. And then whatever wealth and money they robbed, they returned it back to the people of Nottingham. Each and every person of the city was extremely delighted because their wealth came back to them. And then this continued for many days. The people, the guards, and the courtyard people were very disturbed with this activity of Robin Hood. The sheriff complained to the king one day. He said, "My Highness, we are in great trouble. Every time Robin Hood stops the chariot and robs us." The king was very annoyed. He said, "He does it again and again. He has taken all our money and wealth. And sheriff, if you don't want to lose your job, you better arrest Robin Hood." The sheriff was very much determined now to catch Robin Hood. And then he had a very evil plan. He knew what would bring him to the kingdom itself. It was Lady Marian. Lady Marian was a very beautiful and strong woman, and she was the niece of King Richard. One day, while she was passing by the forest in her chariot, Robin Hood, along with his merry men, stopped it. But then he spotted Marian. He was taken over by her beauty and asked her who was she. Marian told him about herself. And then Robin Hood let the chariot go. His merry men were totally amazed by this attitude of Robin. And then after a few days, one of his friends told him that King John was actually organizing an event for archery, and the person who would win it could marry Marion. But then one of his merry men said, "What a joke! This is a proper trap. Everyone knows that the best archer here is Robin. Of course he is going to win." And he had warned Robin Hood not to go there. But Robin Hood had a plan. He told his merry men that they all would disguise themselves and then participate in the contest. The next day, they went to the contest and disguised themselves. It was very hard to recognize them, but still, one of the assistants of King John recognized them, and he shouted, "Guards, guards! I am going to get you all arrested very soon." But in that instant, they all put the man in the barrel. And then Robin Hood participated in the archery contest. He put all the 3 arrows in the bullseye. The people cheered for him. And in that moment, they realized that it was no other than Robin Hood. This made King John really angry. And then he asked the guards to arrest him there and there. But in the meanwhile, his merry men reached King John and they asked to release Robin Hood. They had all their weapons pointing at King John. He was scared, and then he asked the guards to release Robin Hood at that moment. Robin Hood, along with his merry men, left the palace. But there was a thought which went with them. How would they get Lady Marion? They went to the forest and started planning for it. In the meanwhile, a person ran to Robin Hood and told him that the guards of the king were in the village and they had a very important announcement. Instantly, Robin Hood along with his men went there, and they heard the sheriff speak. The sheriff said that the taxes have been doubled. The villagers need to pay it, otherwise they all would get arrested. Robin Hood said not to arrest. He told the sheriff not to arrest the villagers but take him instead. Well, the sheriff was really happy with that suggestion. He took Robin Hood and he put him in prison. Meanwhile, Robin Hood's merry men came to the castle and put it on fire. Every person was running from here and there, and there was a complete hustle bustle. The sheriff came to Robin Hood. He opened the lock and then he told Robin Hood to come with him. At first he did not believe the sheriff, but he had no other option. The sheriff took him upstairs and they went and reached the terrace. Well, the sheriff had a very evil idea. All he wanted was to kill Robin Hood. But Robin Hood didn't give him much time and he jumped from the terrace into the river. He swam across the river and reached the forest. The only thought he had was that he hoped his merry men were all safe. In the meanwhile, King Richard came back to the kingdom and he got to know about each and everything that happened in his absence. He called all the people of the village and the kingdom. He apologized for whatever damage had been done in his absence. And he ordered King John, the sheriff, to be arrested and put in prison. And then he called for Robin Hood. He was really proud of him. And then he said and he thought that he should be rewarded. So he, along with his merry men, were called for a very huge treat, And at the end, he also decided that Marian should be married to Robin Hood. The entire kingdom, the village, and the city of Nottingham rejoiced in their happiness. And with this, Robin Hood led a very happy and joyous life. Thank you so much.